Hey everybody, Brad here with Atlas Target Works. In this video, I'm going to go over what my favorite paint is for painting your steel targets out on the range. So I'm not much for long drawn out videos, so I'm just going to give the big reveal right up front, and then if you want to hear me blabber on about why I like to use it, you can continue to watch. So here we have it. Boom. Rust-Oleum inverted striping paint. Now I like this paint for a number of reasons. Number one is that it's got higher solids content. This is the inverted striping paint, not to be confused with the marking paint, which is meant for marking utility lines and whatnot out on turf, things like that. This is meant for marking stripes on parking lots, and the higher solids content means it's got more of the pigment in it. It's got less solvents, so you can paint the target once without going over it a couple times to get a nice bright white target. Second thing that I really like about it is that it dries really fast. Now that may not seem like a real big deal. You're like, well, we're just painting targets, I don't need it to be beautiful. But if you've used paints that take too long to dry, you've probably gone up, grabbed them to either take them down for the day or just to move them or to repaint them, and you end up getting paint all over your hands, and then it's on your gun and on all your equipment, and that's just something that nobody likes to have. I know I sure as hell don't. So I really like this stuff because you can go up, paint them, within 5-10 minutes the stuff is already dry to the point where you don't have to worry about it, and that is awesome. Last but certainly not least is the pattern on the nozzle. That is my favorite part of this whole type of paint, is the fact that it's meant for striping parking lots, so you get a 2 to a 4 inch stripe depending on how far away you are. Now here's a regular can of paint, and we're all familiar with the pattern it leaves. So we have a circle with high concentration in the middle, and then it quickly fans out. Leaves you going, if you want to get good coverage, you got to go really close back and forth. Well, this leaves a much wider pattern. So it's perfect for big flat steel faces like this. You just go over it a couple times and you've got the whole target painted. There you go, it's ready to shoot. Now this product isn't perfect. It does have a couple drawbacks. Number one is that it's a little bit more expensive. This can is $5. The other premium Rust-Oleum brands are, for spray paint anyways, are $4, and then you can get really cheap stuff for $1 or $2. Now I've tried the cheap stuff. It covers like shit, and the nozzles are even worse than a regular paint nozzle, which is already bad as it is. So I find that it just wasn't worth the hassle with it. It takes forever to dry, it doesn't cover very well, and you only get to use half the can, if that, before the nozzle clogs up. Now these nozzles aren't magic. I have about the same failure rate as a good can of Rust-Oleum as far as the nozzles. Now one good thing about it is that since you have to invert it to spray it, you can turn it upwards, spray it in the air, get it to unclog the nozzle before you're when you're done with it. Whereas a lot of the other nicer cans of spray paint have the spray at any angle, so you can't really clear the nozzle out because they'll spray if they're upside down and they'll spray if they're right side up. So you can't really do that with those. So that is a little bit nicer, but that is the second downfall to this. The nozzle is not meant to be depressed by hand. It's meant to be put in one of those little dollies that you control remotely with the trigger. That being said, it's not that bad for me. I just put 2 fingers, one on either side, and pull it down. It has to be inverted to spray, so if you're a shorter person with a tall target, you may have an issue reaching up there. Me, I don't have that problem, but you kind of got to know what you like and what you're getting into. So that's all I've got for now. So next time you're looking for some steel target paint, try out Rust-Oleum inverted striping paint.